So early morning BS. I done scooted on by Walmart to grab some Excedrin for a toothache and happened to spot some cute little digs in here. Like the clothes are getting cute in here, right? So I'm like, ooh, it's cute. Let me see how much this is. Let me tell y'all something. How about this? How about none of the clothes, nothing in here has prices anymore. Nothing. Everything is priceless. Everything, y'all. I can't make this up. I've walked around and I've looked at tag after tag after tag after tag. There's no prices on anything. Boom. So I say, let me go ask the lady, like, why aren't there prices on anything? The lady who works here says she doesn't know. She just realized that that's how everything is coming in now. I said, interesting. How are we supposed to find out how much something costs? So she says, well, you just have to put the app on your phone and scan it. So I say, so wait, I have to use my phone to scan something to find out a price. I said, are there kiosks around with the little barcode thing you can scan? She says, no. What the hell? So for the ones of you who ride a little above the cloud with us and are comprehending this, I hope y'all realize what they're doing. I hope y'all realize what they're doing, because how are you able to operate a business of this magnitude? And how are we allowing this? How are we allowing this? How are we allowing there ain't a chance in hell that we're supposed to be doing anything with our phones to find out information to make purchases? Now, if you go to the rest of the stuff, it's regular. The prices are on the shelves. All of these clothes, y'all, like I don't even know what to say. This is crazy. What y'all think?
What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's hump day. Good morning, High Vibe. How's your hump? I don't know. I don't know what my hump looks like because I ain't looked at it yet. So when I'm done here with y'all, then I'll figure out, how humpy the hump is going to be. Good morning, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Good morning to go to Africa. Have y'all been experiencing this? You try to break up with Walmart. I feel like we should not be over at Walmart in their apparel section. We trying to leave them alone. Good morning, Jaguar. We trying to leave them alone. And so I understand that groceries are a necessity, but I have experienced this and I have, like, not in the clothing department necessarily, but and I'm gonna tell you, I have a hard time walking through that baby department. I always somehow, from laundry detergents and things, everybody's Walmart is made different. From laundry detergents and things, I find my way scooting through the children's department in case I need to bring something home for my babies. And I'm trying very hard to stop doing that because we don't want to spend our money at Walmart like that. You said it's the beginning of everything being digital. You pay as you go and controlling our money. I told y'all in the past, I started watching Handmaid's Tale and I had to turn that thing off. I didn't know it was going to be coming this fast. You know what I'm saying? But here we are. It's going to become more and more digital. I don't keep everything, in my arsenal for every coffee talk, but I did see a video this morning. I think it was on TikTok. I saw a video of the people. This lady had, you got to scan your ID before you can open the, like, for the refrigerated product. So I guess that's supposed to be an under 18 thing. And so, before you could open the refrigerator door, you got to scan your ID. So we're going to be being scanned and monitored. They flocking. I, it's quite stressful, as a matter of fact. This morning, scrolling through the internet has me stressed out. I'm gonna be honest. So, yeah, after we're done here today, I think I'm gonna take a break. I don't want to hear nothing else. It just sometimes, you have to. We getting towards the end of the week, and I'm not trying to make that part of my hump, child, because it's just one thing after another. Just people recording things, even within my own neighborhood. On the community page, you're like, good lord. I need to just I ain't leaving the house today. I'm just staying inside. Hopefully, that's just going to be my safe space. And, I'm going to stay inside and I'm going to click some things off of my list of things to do. Let's get into, some more of these stories. Did I say like the video? Like the live, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend. We are at 653, I believe. 663. I'm not sure what the number is, but I'm, gradually, one day at a time, every little subscription helps. I'm on my way to 1,000. So I appreciate y'all for being here, participating, keeping me in the algorithm, throwing me some videos through the course, of the weeks, and, keeping me abreast of what's going on. So, if I don't say it enough, I really appreciate y'all being here with me, because y'all motivate me to keep coming over here on days where my hump is really humping, and then I always have to be on Wednesday. Woo, ciao. Anyway, let's get into some of the good things because we need that also. Meet Gianna and Tiana Toussaint. Um, what is that? That's French. I'm sure I flubbed it up, but 17-year-old twin sisters from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, who were both accepted to Harvard University. The student standout plan is to pursue careers in medicine with hopes of becoming cardiac surgeon and neurosurgeon. Ciao. The first comment, it says Topusant means all powerful, which is very fitting. I love this. I always love to hear about young people pursuing careers in medicine and, science and technology and all the things, we're the innovators of. So there's no surprise here. So I much prefer have these girls in control of my health than a robot, because all I see these robots doing is malfunctioning. And y'all can keep saying you would prefer a robot surgeon to a real one. I'm gonna go ahead and keep my eyes on the Poussant girls, because I don't want no robot doing anything for me, not cooking my food, not folding my clothes, not anything. So shout out to these ladies on their way to Harvard, no less. Bet you they got room. Bet you they didn't get kicked out on the list. Anyway, that's not about this. These people over here are doing big things. Rice University in Houston to offer free tuition to students from families earning less than 200,000 a year. Um, I guess the number keeps rising. They've always had this, free tuition for people, but the number is a little bit higher. I guess based on a way the economy works, that's definitely a good thing. Rice University is expanding its financial aid program to provide free tuition to undergraduate students from families earning up to $200,000 annually. I wonder if this is because of all that money Bezos' ex-wife, donated to all these colleges. The expanded Rice investment program will begin with students entering the Houston University in the fall of 2027. Students whose families have earned between 100,000 and 200,000 will receive full tuition scholarships. Love that. Students from families earning less than 100,000 will receive an even larger financial aid package covering tuition, mandatory fees, room, and board. This is so awesome for smart kids who come from families that can't afford. My mother was a retiree, a single woman, so she managed it, but I ended up with the student loan on the other side. um Rice said it would continue meeting 100% of demonstrated financial need for admitted students without requiring them to take out student loans. Eligibility may also depend on families' assets and other financial circumstances. They want to make sure you need it for real, which is fine. Previously, Rice offered free tuition to students from families earning up to 140,000, while full coverage tuition, housing, meals, and fees was generally reserved for families earning 75,000 or less. So, yeah, the bar has been raised. Like I said, the economy makes this a situation. We need them in many more. We do. We do. I saw something in the comment which made me feel good actually. The first comment said it's been like this for some time. It was 150K at first, but if you've never been to Rice campus, just know that it's very resourceful yet difficult school. Getting in will be the hardest part. And it should be. And it should be. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be on the level of the Yales and the Harvards and the Princetons and things of that nature, you have to have standards. I'm guessing they probably don't get to wear their bonnets, but I don't want to, trigger anyone. Um, I love this. Like I said, it's getting harder and harder for students to, get into school. So if you work very hard and you get all the grades, like these two young ladies that are going to Harvard, um, I don't know. Well, this is just specifically to Rice University. It's not cheap going to Harvard. So I'm assuming if they've got two children going to Harvard at the same time, the parents probably have a little coin. But this is for the parents who have very smart children. And I think this happens often. You cannot just decide that somebody is, intelligence level is not superior just because of where they come from. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hardworking folks that, their circumstances are one thing, but they still come from good families that, read with their kids, not walking around here not knowing how to read. So, yeah, this is good news. Like you said, we need more of it in more places. Let's get this money spread out. We know the lady delved out a lot of money to a lot of universities. So, let's get these kids in school. Texas is bugging. Texas is trying to keep Texas, in my opinion, is trying to keep the people from voting. So they're looking for reasons to lock the people up before this election. So, the voting numbers are skewed. Any little thing. It says Republican, and this is no, not Republican. I'm sorry. Representative James Tallarico called out Republican lawmakers for making Texas a nanny state. Isn't this the guy that beat out Jasmine Crockett? Well, so far, he's making some sense. After recently banning THC, the new law cracks down on many intoxicating hemp TLC products that were previously sold in smoke shops and convenience stores. Texas is a bunch of haters. I'm sorry for y'all that live over there. And I'm from Florida and I'm saying that. We, child, hemp ain't the issue around here. We need somebody to stop with these crackhead meth heads. Anyway, Texas State Rep James Tellerico is among those criticizing the new law. It's in law now, child. It ain't about a discussion. It has officially become a law, calling out Republican lawmakers for supporting the measure. He argued the ban won't stop people from using cannabis, instead claimed it will push consumers towards the illegal markets. That's what they're hoping. This won't stop Texas from smoking weed, Tellerico said. I don't think they care about whether these people smoke weed or not. They want to get some convictions so these people can't vote. Under the law, someone convicted of possessing less than 1 gram. Um, when I mix my color, I use a machine to weigh, the product versus like trying to eyeball it. So less than 1 gram is such a small amount for you to be going to jail over possibly 2 years. It says under the law, someone could be convicted of possessing less than 1 gram of a prohibited THC product could face 180 days to 2 years. And we know how that's going to go. The more melanin you got, the more time you're going to serve. 180 days or 2 years in a state jail facility and a fine of up to $10,000. Lord. For 1 to 4 grams, which even 4 grams is a teeny tiny amount, the punishment increases up to 2 to 10 years in prison possessing 4 to 400 grams and carries 20 to 20 years, while more than 400 grams could result in 5 to life. 5 years to life if convicted. And the thing is, like, you talking about grams, they're talking about anything with THC. So some tea, some gummies, any of those things, it's not, they're gonna be more than 4 grams. So you better not have it in your possession. Supporters claim the law is aimed at protecting public health. How? And keeping THC products away from minors. Okay. While critics argue it can criminalize more people and strengthen the black market. Thoughts? Um, I don't know about the black market, but it's gonna definitely keep people away from the polls. You said it's a blessing not to have to worry about paying back student loans. I was blessed in that, and I received financial assistance for undergraduate. I did not for college, but I did for cosmetology school. I was a single mother, and yeah, my grant paid for most of my schooling. It's 20,000 now. It was 5,000 back then, and I think I was out of pocket $500. So there's that. Um, anyway, yeah, Texas is doing what Texas does. They Let's hear what the man had to say.
Bill is insane. This legislature legalized hemp 6 years ago, but instead of regulating this booming industry in our state, we are now going backwards to the days of prohibition. This bill is not going to stop Texans from smoking weed or eating edibles just because a bunch of politicians in Austin tell them not to. Texans will
I would say most of them politicians do worse drugs than any damn edibles.
still use THC, but instead of getting it safely from a local small business, they'll now get it from the black market, from the drug cartels. This ban is a gift to the cartels. We are now telling full-grown adults how to live their lives. This is the nanny state at its worst. This is big government at its worst. I thought the Republican Party believed in limited government and personal responsibility. I thought the Republican Party believed in liberty and freedom. What gives us the right to tell an adult what to do on their own time? We are now about to throw Texans in jail for seeking relief that's safer than alcohol and less addictive than tobacco. Instead of fully funding schools, expanding access to health care, lowering costs of childcare, this legislature is focused on banning a product that gives people a little peace. Texans use THC to lessen anxiety. Seniors use it to manage chronic pain. Our veterans use it to treat PTSD. With this ban, we are now making people's lives harder, not easier. I want to leave you with a quote. It is time to end needless arrests and incarcerations of adults for small amounts of marijuana for personal use. That wasn't a Democrat. That was President Donald Trump. To my Republican colleagues, I'm asking you to oppose the cartels, stand with President Trump, and vote no on this insane bill. This bill is insane.
I mean, I wish he would have said this first comment. The conviction rates plummeted. More people are eligible to vote. That's what I didn't think about that. I thought about like taking more people off the streets. This is a threat to them because we now have the freedom to get them out of office. Both things are true. Many politicians in the cannabis business. Um, the Texas government is worrying about the wrong thing. I think they know exactly what they're worried about. Meanwhile, every week there's an Amber Alert. Conveniently, it heightens during the summer. A lotus Egyptian flower. I strongly believe, like this first comment, that this has, all of those points that he made were very valid. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have anything to do with some people getting some chill. You know what I mean? It has absolutely more to do with getting people off the streets, that because people that smoke weed are more likely to not probably be voting Republican because they make laws like this. Um, you said, I think during that time people realized the money they could make. I mean, they said it was the THC was illegalized, so Obama and the Democrats had made great strides in decriminalizing it, and the capitalists want free prison labor. There's that too, because all of these jails are privately owned. I bet you Texas is heavily full with privately owned prisons. The people said, I don't know if I kept it, so I'll just say it while it's on my mind. I just saw somewhere while I was scrolling that Taylor Farms is in bed with private prisons. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, a lot of the prisoners work for Taylor Farms. Are they out there shitting in the crops? Anyway, we just gonna have to just chill. We gonna have to chill, be very careful, during these next few months because they're looking for any reason. And now, they're following to your house because they done tagged and flocked your darn license tags. So, if you driving up somewhere, you might just get somebody busted. That's all I'm going to have to say. Just be careful out there because they're paying attention because they're trying to keep us from them damn poles. I feel like I remember this story. LAPD officer who recorded his colleagues making racist remarks has been charged with 16 felony counts of illegally recording confidential communications. He faces up to 13 years behind bars. Ooh, they gonna sock it to you, brother. And you a police? Can't do nothing right, can you? And an LAPD officer who reported alleged racist, sexist, and homophobic remarks made by his colleagues is now facing 16 felony charges for secretly recording their conversation. Officer Daniel Flores was charged by the Los Angeles County District Attorney Office on July 31st, 2026. So they're just getting back at him this week with allegedly recording confidential communications without the permission and consent. The recordings were reportedly made in 2026 while Flores worked in the LAPD's recruitment and employment division. He catching them while they coming in. Ooh, too bad. I feel like this should be a part of the process. I feel like there should be a plant in the recruiting process. I feel like there should be a plant in there like this gentleman to just, pay attention to what's being said. I do remember this story. It says Flores worked in LAPD's recruitment and employment division, which conducts background investigations of prospective employees. Flores allegedly submitted the recordings to LAPD Internal Affairs as evidence of misconduct. His attorney argues that Flores was exposing discrimination inside the department, while prosecutors maintain that California law generally prohibits recording confidential conversations without consent of everyone involved. Flores faces up to 13 years in prison if convicted on all counts. The charges remain allegations, and he is presumed innocent unless proven guilty. I mean, I hope his lawyers, got their things together because this is not, he turned it into Internal Affairs. So I don't know. I feel like when you in the workplace, there's cameras and all kinds of things around. So presumably private conversations, maybe you shouldn't be racist and homophobic and sexist, but this is the police department. This is in LA. Y'all been going in over here. Let's see. You say research has shown that it isn't a gateway drug. You say, my doctor offered to prescribe it for me. He urged me to use it because he said that no one has ever died from an overdose on it. Well, I know I never have. Now I'm telling my business. Remember, a private prison sued state or city because they were promised a steady stream of prisoners. Yep. And then the crime rate dropped and lots of people were released. It's about prisons making money. I believe it's about prisons making money and keeping the, polls from having Democrats over there voting. The other side of weed debate is, how are we trusting smoking weed sanctioned by government? Right. And things have gone very left since then. I used to partake back in the day and it didn't smell nowhere near the way it smells today. And it's somehow a different kind of potency, I believe. I believe it definitely has been tampered with to make it stronger. Taylor Farms are paying the prisoners Yes, child. Let's get it up here. Let's get these numbers up here. Taylor Farms are paying prisoners $1.25, while the government in Arizona is making $4.25 per person. This is the same article I saw, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Can't make this stuff up. Yeah, yeah. It's back to slave labor. The levels are very high. We need to be careful smoking and gummies from dispensaries. I'm not an edible person. Edibles, like, it's a difference. It's different, but I can see, like, you know if it's not for recreational reasons, if it's for like a cancer patient or somebody with anxiety, I mean, I feel like it can work either way. Sometimes it can make anxiety worse. It's per person. Um, m- Maybe if you've got a medical card, I don't know. I don't know. I know that the shit is stronger and it's not like back in the day. I also know that it's an excuse to put people in jail. This is the same way it started, back when prohibition was before with the alcohol. Flores is not smart. He should have written a book, completed a documentary. You can't snitch on cops as a cop. I said, high vibe. He should have what do you call it? Whistleblowered that thing. He should have whistleblowered it instead of turning it into internal affairs. I feel like internal affairs is like human resources and it's never going to work to your benefit. He was out there, yeah, I think being not smart. I would have handed it over to, I don't know, Harvey down to TMZ. There's got to be somebody, you know what I mean, that could have whistleblowed on the department, and then he could just be out of it, left out of it. They over there sending, you know, anonymous messages, and they got what's the name, Gundry's mama's remains. They still trying to get money off of it. So yeah, I think he should have just found a whistleblower, sit behind a wall on CBS or ABC, and use that voice distorting thing. um you say the prison industry has been flourishing for years, in part because of corruption in the criminal justice system. Governors, judges, and many politicians make millions from it. And these judges are, they really in favor of the handmaid's tales, including the women. Isn't it weird how women get in positions what they think of power? Like all of these women was caping for Trump in the beginning, and now none of them have a job. Medical is a different strain. Yeah, if you get that medical card, but if you get the medical card, uh, you cannot. Well, I don't know if it's already in effect. Like if it's already in effect, maybe it doesn't affect, but you can't get a gun permit if you got a medical marijuana card. In that wild, which probably makes you less likely to want to pull the trigger. But yeah, it affects whether or not you can have a permit to carry. You said it was your oncologist who offered to prescribe for pain. Hopefully, you're not a Texas child because they don't care whether you're in pain or not. They just want to like take you down to the jailhouse, depending on how many grams. And that's what I'm saying. If you have gummies in a jar, like 4 grams, that's what probably like a couple few gummies. It's not that much. It doesn't take that much to reach that limit where they want to send you to jail for life. You said he could have played the long game and set something up to expose the system's wide issue. He could have. He don't watch Law and Order, child. He don't watch Criminal Minds and things of that nature. We over here are very well trained. He don't watch Elsbeth. You can't just go up to the office with, because there's always corrupt people in play. And the higher you go, the more corrupt it is. Yes, to go to Africa, hoping for your recovery. And thankfully your oncologist made sure that you can find some way to be comfortable through the process. Child, anyway, let's hope this guy gets off. We don't want to see him go to jail, but he's the one that's going to get in trouble, and then these guys, we don't even know who the people are that he exposed. But LAPD, you have a problem. Speaking of problems, we're going to start here with this one. So Child, bear with me trying to get through these robotic conversation. A robot died on stage at Computex, and its final move was raising one arm like it needed help. Oh, that's so sad. It happened at Qualcomm's Computex 2026 showcase in Taipei during the unveiling of the Dragonwing 1Q10, a 700 TOPS robotic platform positioned as a production ready brain for humanoids. Maybe not so ready. He tired already, child. The presenter had just told the audience the technology was already here. The robot, a 4NE-1 from Newer Robotics, a Qualcomm partner that reportedly raised 1.4 billion shortly before the event, was covered with a tarp as the presentation continued. Child, they RIP'd this robot. A statement later called it a controlled shutdown, sure, triggered by a communication glitch, with the robot performing a design safe collapse sequence. What if he need to safe collapse while he's in the middle of surgery? So here he go, this robot.
The IQ10 RRV, ladies and gentlemen. What I would like to share with you is that robotics is very real. It scales across a wide variety of environments.
What? I'm crying.
And then let's take a look at how we get this to recover. Of environment.
What? Why were they on standby with tarps to cover up this robot? You said you think the ex-wife hacked the robot? Somebody hacked it. The timing could not have been better. The timing could not have been better. Why do they have tarps already on hand to cover this joker up just in case he fall out? See, this is what I'm talking about. All I see is robots malfunctioning. Man, they RIP'd him like it's going to be a meme. It certainly should be. All I'm saying is, no, child, they was down to the conference. They were down to the conference in the middle of a presentation, and this joker fell out. All I've seen is a robot malfunctions. That's all I see. I see them down to the cubicles, karate kicking, the employees around there. This guy is carrying a tray. Looks like he'd been carrying trays on his last days. Even the way he walked over there, the way that robot was walking was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And, then he hits the floor while this man is talking. And what happens after this? I wonder, like, what is the conversation that happens after your gajillion-billion-dollar robot? $1.4 billion was raised the day before, and this is what we get. Cover this joker up. He's a robot, not anymore. He's a coffee table. He could be a chair. We don't know. Ciao. Not priceless. Oh, I would love to be at that conference room the next day as a fly on the wall. It's giving when the lady shouted in church and then falls out. And they placed the cross over her, the cloth. That's hilarious. Are they making fun of Mitch McConnell? He did manage to stay up. He ain't fall all the way out. He just stuck there. He just stuck there staring. Where is Mitch? The people said August the 3rd was when they was going to reveal where he is. Y'all playing. Got that man over there, frozen somewhere. Somebody about to lose their job. That robot, he's fired. Take him back to the factory. Melt him down and try again. Y'all are killing me with these robots. And you won't be killing me with no robot surgeon. I will not. I will not. What if he shuts down in the middle of my surgery? Nope. The 2026 WNBA season began with 0 black women head coaches. Only the third time in the league history, despite 65% of the players being black women. This is disappointing. The 2026 WNBA season tipped off without a single black woman serving as head coach, marking only the third time in the league's history that every team has opened the season without a black woman leading from the sidelines. The milestone has sparked a renewed conversation about representation in the league where black women make up the majority of the players. We got to start from scratch everywhere, even over here. Good grief. The WNBA expanded to 15 teams over the 2026 season, yet none are led by black women. That's a problem. The change came from the Seattle Storm opted not to renew the contract of Noelle Quinn, who had been the league's only black woman head coach during the 2025 season. While the league now has 2 black male head coaches, not the same. Sorry, but it's not the same. Tyler Marsh and Chicago Sky's Sydney Johnson of the Washington Mystics. There are no black women in the role. The coaching landscape stands to contrast the league's player demographics. Various league demographic analysts estimate that roughly 64 to 70% of WNBA players are black, meaning black women black women comprise the majority of the league's athletes. The disparity has fueled debate among players, fans, and analysts about leadership opportunities and the pipeline from playing careers to a coaching position. That is discouraging for all of the young ladies over here that are playing in the league and that are not Angel Reese, you know what I'm saying? Or any of these other girls with high profile, social media platforms and things like that. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a conversation that needs to be had. I love my girl Dawn Stanley. Can we get her over here? Mitch is hooked up to a water tank. Well, that explains the water levels being sucked out. They're using them all to keep this man going. We need to do something different. Yeah. So all eyes back on the WNBA. Seems like we got to stay over here. We just got done fighting for these girls to get their money, and we would like to have some more, black representation in these coaching positions. If you're a player and you see that there's no black coaches, that means, when it's time to retire, where is Brittany? She's single. Is she still playing professionally? Can she coach? We might need to keep her away from these girls because she's knocking them down. Ty, I feel like there's black women out here that definitely could be in these coaching positions. Okay, they got 2 black men over here, but like I said, that's not the same. We are not the same. So there's that. Let's see. You said, although many black women are extremely qualified for many professions, they always are the ones that are least employed. They don't even consider us. They don't even consider us. I feel like we have to go through, make some noise, bam down some doors. It's always got to be, you know what I'm saying, a revolution. I just said that. I just said we don't need Brittany because she be over here, knocking them down. Well, she 2 wives down. We need to keep her off the, maybe she can be an assistant. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like it's always a fight for everything. You would be surprised. Brittany's not one of us. No, she's a whole ninja out here acting a fool. Yeah, I guess like I said, all eyes on the WNBA. We can't be quiet about it. So as the league is just now getting started, the noise, bring the noise, raise your voices. Let's Keep everybody's hands on the table. Goodness, no wonder why we tired. We over here like that a daggone robot. We're gonna just walk up to the door and fall out because we are daggone tired of everything being a darn fight. Whew. So it appears as though Jafar Jackson joins Will Smith in an upcoming action thriller. I did not see, the Michael Jackson movie, so I do not have any opinion about Jafar, but I feel like, Jermaine's plan worked and we got a fast track to Hollywood from, first movie ever to, what are you headlining with Will Smith? So it says Jafar Jackson has landed his next major acting role. The Michael star will appear alongside Will Smith in the upcoming action thriller Supermax, according to the Hollywood Reporter. The film follows two FBI agents played by Smith and Anna Sophia Robb, I don't know who that is, as they investigate a murder inside a red room inside a notorious maximum security prison. Jafar's role has not yet been revealed. Like I said, I don't have any critique of the young man. They said he did good at Michael, so it's a good next step, I guess, to get him from being casted, typecasted. The casting comes after Jafar's breakout performance as his uncle, Michael Jackson, in the upcoming biopic, Michael. Well, we already seen the biopic. I mean, y'all seen it. I didn't. Supermax is expected to begin production soon will stream on Prime Video. So it's going straight to I guess they don't worry about getting to the darn movies no more. They can get their little check from who's Anna Sophia Robb? Do we know her? I don't know her. She gonna be an FBI agent? I guess. Not familiar, but I'm not surprised that's the route, that Will Smith, he don't pick the stars, I suppose. He don't have anything to do with casting. Although I think he has a strong hand in the decisions being made. Brittany doesn't seem to have the personality and human resource skills to coach. I would agree with that. I think Brittany is so, harsh, like in her demeanor. She's definitely somebody that's a player and also a player. He's Will's type. Ooh, that's what you said. I didn't say that. I ain't got no type. I have no opinion on it. Will Smith does action movies. I suppose if I don't have to go like somewhere to see it and I can just watch it from streaming it on Prime, then I'll consider it and we'll get to see what Jafar does. When Michael comes to streaming, then I'll see that too. Y'all remember April? April is Omarion's baby mama. She's got two kids with Omarion, and then she had a long relationship with Tay Diggs. Well, I chose this story because I respect this. Former reality star April Jones celebrates 1 year at her medical facility while still pursuing entertainment. Nothing small about honest work. I agree with that. April Jones is celebrating 1 year at her new radiation job while balancing patient care with her entertainment career. For those who don't know, I have a degree in radiation science and I still work with patients, even when I'm not on set, Jones wrote. It's been a year at this facility already, and I'm so grateful for kind people I get to work with. Someday it doesn't even feel like work. The actress encouraged others not to feel embarrassed about holding multiple jobs or pursuing passion, adding, there's nothing small about honest work. You don't have to choose just one version of yourself. Jones earned a bachelor's degree in radiation science and previously worked at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago before relocating to Los Angeles. She became known through VH1's Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and appeared on Brunch with Tiffany and Black Card Revoked while building an acting career alongside her medical work. Um, I think this is great. I think sometimes, she's not out there in the streets. Them love and hip hop checks are gone, but she wasn't just sitting around somewhere. She was getting, her degree where she could have a real job to take care of her children. And, respect to that, because I feel like a lot of actors will not work because they don't want to be seen down to Trader Joe's, running the cashier. It's hard to believe Will Smith is so close to 60 years old. Yeah, child. He looked good. I'll give him that. Um, Shit. And if he's close to 60, that means I am too. Think we're the same age. Jabrain is looking at Michael's post. Sometimes I can't post anonymously. It's always this money with the sort, which is sort of sad. I flubbed that the hell up. Sorry, Lotus Egyptian flower. Um, Jermaine always up to no good. He has child support to be paid. He probably gonna get, a cut of whatever this boy gets for this movie so he can, still benefit. It is what it is. Um, I think everybody's over there getting a piece of Michael Jackson's estate. Can we have a celebratory work day for everyone in the chat? A celebratory work day. What does that look like? I'm down to celebrate. We just gonna throw love up there. It's hard for me to believe I'm 60. Me too. I'm close to 60. Me too. High vibe. And then, I almost accidentally made myself closer than I had to be. I threw my self an extra year. And I'm like, hold on, I'm not there yet. But me and my friend have talked about doing a Mediterranean cruise for, our 60s. So I'm going to do something. I don't normally do anything for my birthday, but I like, to go ahead and celebrate these milestones and figure out who I'm going to be in this next decade incognito as much as I can because people is out here like Big Brother is out here heavy. Shout out to April, for take taking the time in the middle of chasing a career in acting, and not everybody is going to be a big star. I feel like she, can probably still get work. But shout out to her for finding a career so that she can provide for her family, and it sounds like she likes it. That's also always good. From good to not so good. Diddy over here. Diddy officially loses $9,000. iPhones, hard drive seized during federal X trafficking investigation after judge signs off on the forfeiture. This is wild. I want to know what's going to happen with it. Sean Diddy Combs has officially lost thousands of dollars and a collection of electronics seized during the investigation that led to his conviction. U.S. District Judge Aaron Subramanian signed an order Tuesday transferring the property to federal government after no one filed a claim contesting the forfeiture within the required 30 days. All them kids, they didn't know they were supposed to do that. The attorney didn't tell them that they should probably do that. Anyway, the items include several iPhones, iPads, hard drives, and $9,000 in cash recovered from the Park Hyatt, New York on September 16, 2024, the day Combs was arrested. The order allows federal officials to take possession of the property and dispose of it under applicable law. Some of the electronics were collected during the March 2024 raids on Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami, which occurred months before prosecutors unveiled their criminal case. The jury later convicted the music mogul on 2 counts of transporting individuals to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted of racketeering, conspiracy, and ex trafficking charges. The sentence in October 2025 to 50 months in federal prison. They keep dropping it down. Combs is serving his sentence at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. His projected release date was recently moved to February 2028. But he about to get a year shaved off. They could mess around and it'll be next year. Diddy has a thumb size situation. I can't unknow this. You saw it? Did you see it on X or something? Um, y'all, let me know, what is the celebration? Like April celebrating her 1 year work anniversary. Welcome to the regular life of April. I love that. I love that we're celebrating, regular. Shoot, we deserve it. Um, yeah, y'all let me know. Send me things and we could plan something. We could plan a little celebration. We could come over here and talk about random things that y'all want to talk about. Let's do it. Lotus Egyptian flower. El Cid is not here. That means that you are the official party planner. So I need to know as much information as I can. And then, we will plan something. What is it? April. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I don't want to set a date, but yeah, we're going to plan a party. You said, "Ooh, if those phones had hard drives ever ended up on the black market, it's going to be another sad day for Diddy." I'm waiting on that to happen. Lotus Egyptian flower. I feel like so. What? My first thought was, who got the $9,000? Y'all talking about it was forfeited to who? How do we? I mean, I know 9,000 isn't a lot, but I could take few of those right about now. So, do you just go down there and just try to claim it? What is going to happen? I want to know what's going to happen with the rest of this information. It's going to end up out here on the streets, Diddy. You should be, we about to see. I feel like we're about to see some things that, I don't need it. Y'all could just tell me your party planning things do need a lot of editing. Well, I'm the editor. I'm the editor. You know what I'm saying? And we could make it a thing. I think it'll be fun. Um, Y'all can invite people over to like and subscribe. Look at me taking advantage of a situation. Anyway, yeah, I guess there's more for us to see. Thumb size situation. I don't need to see that, but I'm not surprised. Ew. Ew. We don't want to take that, Puffy. We don't want it. So I saw this last night. This is wild. Um, it says Perez Hilton has left fans deeply concerned and sending prayers for his well being after going live on TikTok with alarming behavior in an alleged self harming incident on Tuesday, August 4th. So, yeah, I saw this like right after it happened. I did not see him over here doing this on TikTok. But I saw, the announcement, and I saw a blurry version of him inside of a shower. It was, that enough was enough to see. You said clips went viral of Hilton visibly naked and covered in blood. While standing in front of the camera, he held a large knife and held it against his body, making several cuts along his stomach, chest, arms, face, thighs, and more. In the clips, he smiled, moaned, and grunted in pain. At one point, he said, "I'm surprised TikTok lets this stay. F you, TikTok." Yeah, they said it was up there for a minute. Um, he continued to say, he continued to said, "It hurts, but it feels good too. I'm a effing parasite loser." Wow. This is what you all wanted. After running the knife against him some more, he said, it'll be interesting to see what happens after you die." Then he invited 3 other TikTokers onto his live stream and said, "What's up, effers?" All of them concerned then asked Perez, "What are you doing? Are you okay?" Clearly, he's not okay. He replied, "I'm committing unaliving." One person said, "That's not what we're doing here." He replied, "Yes, it is." When they continued to inquire about his actions and where his loved ones were, he said, "Bye, bitches," and ended his live stream. Wow. Following the live stream, Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office responded to Hilton's home. A spokesperson told TMZ that deputies received several calls and quickly responded to his home. Family members at the scene confirmed he was alone inside the home. Deputies have since tactically disengaged but continue to monitor the situation. What does that mean? Deputies like, I mean, it's all you now. The doctor's gonna have to figure it out. Um, since then, his reps, Golden Artist Entertainment CEOs Dante Russellini and Rebecca Cohen shared statements with TMZ. Of course, they went to TMZ. Before this concerning incident, Hilton went viral in March after claiming to have met God. During his 21st day, during his 21-day hospital stay after battling for his life, he said what started out as a flu quickly turned into something deadly, sepsis. So he suffered from sepsis after having the flu. This is him. It says Perez Hilton's reps. We are aware of the concerning content circulating online involving our client, Perez Hilton. At this time, we have not been able to make direct contact with him. So they ain't even talked to him yet, but they making a statement. Despite our ongoing efforts to reach him, our primary concern is Perez's health and well-being, as well as the well-being of his family. Until we have confirmed information, we will not speculate or comment further. We appreciate everyone's concern and ask for his privacy to be respected during this time. I mean, he didn't do it privately. He said he met God during his hospital stay.
About this experience is that God presented himself to me. It was not a feeling. God presented himself to me. And I grew up Catholic. I was baptized, had my communion, confirmed, went to Jesuit school for 7 years, but I was never a believer until now. God presented himself to me, and
yes, I believe he has 3 children. They're like 9 and 11. They're old enough to know what's going on.
And then did something that I could only call miraculous. And I was very lucid. It was real. And this has been life-changing. I'm so grateful. I'm excited to start taking the kids to church. I don't have to hope to believe. I know now. So that's amazing. One of the most special things about this experience is that God presented himself weak and to just know.
Whoa, he looked bad. I believe this video is from when he was in the hospital before. You said you hope they had a mental health team on standby. He got money, but even his representative said they haven't been able to talk to him. So we don't know. We don't know. At least not as of yet. This is, like I said, this just broke last night. So I'm sure we'll be hearing more. He was really crying out for help if he did it on TikTok. Yeah. And from what I'm understanding, it was like 20 minutes of him, going on before they didn't say TikTok shut it down. They said he shut it down. You believe him when he says he had a near-death experience? And it seems like he might have had another one, self-inflicted. It's wild to me how somebody who clearly has mental health issues was able to get 3 children. I don't know how, if he used donors or, how he became a parent, but yeah, his kids are preteen age and close to preteen age. I believe there's 3 of them. And this is sad. This is sad. Hopefully they didn't see it. And thankfully he did this while they weren't at home, but then they all got to come back to that home. What a mess. So yeah, like I said, this story is just breaking. I'm sure there will be more to come. On another note, let's switch to energy. Latina superstar Cardi B locks in major brand deal with Old Navy. She's officially the face of Old Navy's new denim campaign. Shout out to Cardi. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Meanwhile, her baby daddies is somewhere, looking for love in all the wrong places. Anyway, Cardi B's influence continues to reach far beyond music as the Grammy winning artist officially becomes the face of Old Navy's new fall denim campaign, making another major brand partnership in her expanding business empire. The campaign, titled The Most Wanted Denim, is built around confidence, self expression, accessible fashion. For Cardi, the partnership is especially personal. She revealed that she still shops at Old Navy and reflected on growing up in the South Bronx, where she once felt insecure wearing jeans. As a teenager, she admitted to stuffing her jeans with layers underneath to appear curvier because of the beauty standards she grew up around. Ciao. Okay. Now, years later, Cardi says denim has become one of the biggest staples in her wardrobe. Well, she's not stuffing anymore. She's stuffed. She stuffed her own thighs instead of the thighs in the jeans, making this collaboration feel like full circle moment. Her story transforms the campaign from traditional celebrity endorsement into one rooted in personal experience, resilience, and confidence, qualities that have defined her career from the beginning. I appreciate that she's with a brand like Old Navy, that her fans are not always out there able to spend at Balenciaga. I feel like Cardi definitely thinks about her fan base, when it comes to her brand deals. Um, Said the man needs help by the right people. Perez has been a problem for a long time. You surprised about the children because he appears to be gay? Oh, he's definitely gay. He's very gay. If you're not familiar with Perez Hilton, he used to be like, he was one of the first to do like celebrity gossip stories. And so Paris would be out here getting all the dirt, you know what I'm saying, on the celebrities. He was out there in the streets. He was actually plus size. So I feel like a lot of his self hate, um, and I believe he's Hispanic. I want to say he's Cuban. I know he's of Hispanic descent. So, I feel like out there in LA, the gays are very what do they call it? No fats, and they discriminate heavily. It's a very in LA is a very superficial place to be, but that's Paris. And so yeah, he's gay, and I'm not sure how he like I said, got these children, probably through sperm donation and a surrogate. I feel like they're his kids, but which means the mental health needs to be checked on the children too, because that's a thing that you pass down genetically. Anyway, shout out to Cardi B, with her Old Navy endorsement. Those are some cute jeans. It's cute. Look at Cardi dressed up like a soccer mom. Her ass looks a little more under control in those pants. Hey, Miss Carter, those are cute. So yeah, Cardi is out here winning and winning and winning, and unfortunately, has attached herself to men. Hopefully, she can let that stuff go. You know what I mean? Not have fun. Have fun by all means, but stay on track, Cardi. Stay on track. You got good things going. You just came off of this tour, and you got good things happening. So, hopefully, and like I said, and her fans can afford Old Navy. You know what I mean? It's these designer brands, they can't always get into that. So shout out to Cardi, like I said, for recognizing her fan base. I just before we get out of here, I review Bravo shows. I will be reviewing Ultimate Girls Trip, and they had a premiere party. So the ladies was over here doing their thing. You got Shamia over here. Love me some green. She looks pretty. She looks pretty. I'm not even mad at her updo. Shamia is gorgeous. So she don't always get it right when it comes to the fashion. I'm not mad at this. You got Karen Huger over here with her 20 plus 3-4. She got to be about 64 at this point or headed that way. Um, she's nipped and tucked and pulled and, quite possibly under the influence. We don't know. But she over here with her thighs all the way out. Can you do that? I can't do that. I'm not 60, but I'm not sure if I would. I'm not sure if I would. And we gotta be chasing to make sure your coochie don't fall out all night. So, there's Karen over there. She'll be back this season for Potomac. And I'm not making no promises. I'm gonna put it like that. We got Wendy. Wendy looking fabulous before she heads on down to the penitentiary. Portia's ass is like a whole separate entity. Her ass and her hair. Is she standing straight? What is going on? Like her booty is crawling up her back. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I like her dress though. That's cute. Cynthia's dress. I have another picture of Cynthia's dress. I didn't really like it so much. I hate that hair. It's like so plastic. Is that go naked hair? Because I don't like it. In this picture, it don't matter because Portia's hair is overshadowing everything. And like I said, look at Wendy trying to be in the picture, but Portia's ass is doing too much. Good grief. Okay, Stacy. Did Stacy get a re-up in the boobies? Because you said he's Cuban. I knew he was Hispanic. Let me get these out the way. Perez made Perez made Wendy Williams look like an angel. Just saying, he was worse. He was part of the low down, dirty, blog getters. He was very vicious. I hate to say karma, but sometimes it shows up how it shows up. You said Photoshop shot reduced her butt. Um, well, it ain't reduced in that picture, child. That booty is obnoxious. Yeah, Stacy, did she get a re up? I don't remember. Spacey Stacy got cleavage all the way down to her belly button. She's a little teeny lady, so I don't see nothing but titties. Um, Melissa Gorga looks good. She normally does. Melissa Gorga, yeah, she looks good. Nothing, really to talk about aside from she picked a cute dress. She's got a nice figure, and yeah, I'm nice hair. It's a nice situation. Her and Stacy. Stacy's tall. Ciao. Now, this lady was over here interviewing with Carlos King, talking about how she sets the standards for these ladies. And during the season, Drew called this lady Miss Proportion. And if she don't look like somebody photoshopped the top half on the bottom half, I don't know what. It's giving linebacker. I don't know what made her put this dress on and say, yeah, that's going to be it. You need to really I don't know who her stylist is, but styling someone, you really have to take proportions into consideration. She don't never need nothing to fit it like that ever. She needs like some A lines, the fullness at the bottom. But I have a feeling Kelly don't listen when it comes to somebody telling her about her look. When you have money, you can almost buy anybody you want. Yeah, you can get a Portia booty and some Stacy boobies, and I don't know. Kelly needs to go invest in something that looks like she looks light skinned. They've been saying she might have a little melanin in her history. She didn't want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But they said she might be passing. Oh, you said, but okay, they photoshopped Cardi's butt. They whittled it down. I appreciate that. I appreciate that they did that because they have to sell these jeans, child. They have to make these jeans look like the average bottom could fit in it. So I'm not mad at that. She need to, take that picture to her doctor's office and say, this is what we want to do next. Um, all that body paint makeup she's wearing. You talking about Kelly? She needs she it's just so this picture looks so odd. And she looks like heavy at the top, like not just her boobs, but her arms and you know, child, she don't have no type of waist. Her waist and her hips is exactly the same, but girl, she says she sets the standards. So if that's the standard, I don't know what to say about that girl. Um, Here's Cynthia again, and like I said, I like the dress better in this video, but the hair looks so cheap. She looks so washed out. Her makeup does not look good. It's giving, yeah, Barbie special edition hair. I don't like it. But yeah, I will be reviewing the Ultimate Girls Trip. I'm also gonna be reviewing Put a Ring on It, the cheating edition. I'm gonna just put out a video probably today or tomorrow on Put a Ring on It, and then after these reunions are over, we got one more Bell Collective, and then I'll start adding Put a Ring on It on my Tuesday night's reality recap. But yeah, that's all I got today, y'all. Enjoy your hump day. Hopefully I helped to make your hump just a little less humpy. And Lotus Egyptian Flower, I will be looking for ideas and information as it relates to our regular workday celebration. I feel like I like that idea. So let's get into it. Anyway, y'all, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 for some more coffee talk.